Hello and good afternoon. My name is Martin Coward, and welcome to Noonday Meditation and Contemplative Prayer Power Hour, where we gather together every day at noon Eastern Daylight Time on Facebook Live to love and support each other through this crisis. Wow. So thank you for showing up and joining us today. We definitely, there's no time like now that we need this sanctuary, this place of refuge, if you will, to come together, open our hearts, and share our stories, and meditate, and tap into that higher power within ourselves. What is the smartest decision that you've made during this past year? There's clearly no shortage. Hold on a second. There is clearly no shortage of drama. And with all of the fear and uncertainty in our world right now, it is clearly challenging to try to make smart decisions because we don't know. We don't know what is coming up next. And to see the kind of irresponsible leadership we have in this country right now, especially them trying to railroad through a Supreme Court justice, it's really a bunch of folks drunk on power, and it's heartbreaking. It's not going to work. It's going to backfire on them, because I believe we're a heart-centered community, and the more I get to know people and the more I've experienced people during this COVID-19, people are waking up. People are waking up, and the smartest decision I made last year was to start this noonday live webinar. I can't think of what I call it right now. This noonday meditation and contemplative prayer power hour. Create this sanctuary every day. That was one of the smartest things that I did last year, because it's grounded me. It's given me an opportunity to connect with the world out there. As we physically isolate, it gives me an opportunity to listen and find out what other people are doing in the world, how we're getting through. And it just fills my heart with joy to be able to come on here on a daily basis and bring my wisdom, my knowledge, and hear your wisdom and knowledge. So one of the smartest things that I did was to start doing this every day. And it grounds me, and I find it very fulfilling, and I thoroughly enjoy doing it every day. Something I look forward to every day. And there's my dear friend Mindy. And we're talking about the smartest decision. Now is the time to make ourselves Now is not the time to make ourselves small. Yes, noonday with you and others has been a bright spot for months. Thank you for saying that. And right, this is a time when we need to be big. This is a time when we need to not get small and think of ourselves as small and fearful and insignificant, because we're not. Just showing up here daily and for other people daily, to love and support each other through this pandemic, is the most important thing we can do. And finding ways to do that, to help guide each other out of this crisis, out of this dark time, is exactly the way I'm reimagining generosity in 2021 and now and into 2021. That's become my theme. And another smart decision that I made was I was recently asked to head up the stewardship team at my church here in Montclair with St. Luke's Episcopal Church. I'm honored to be asked, particularly right now, that's where we created that theme of reimagining generosity as a stewardship theme for the church. And I've decided to make that my theme for 2021. I think it's a great theme, and I'm encouraging for my parishioners and people in my church to consider making reimagining their theme for the new year as well. And then how do you fit St. Luke's into that reimagination, so that St. Luke's becomes a part of that reimagined world, that reimagined community around generosity. And one of the things that I've been doing that's just been a tremendous joy for me is that I have been conducting Zoom interviews with members of our parish, members of our congregation, asking them these very simple questions. Well, how are you imagining generosity? How are you giving? How do you see giving? And we have had these most wonderful, heartfelt conversations on Zoom, and I'm recording them and taking parts of them and making videos that we're going to share during our church services. And there's so many wonderful things happening around that. One, they enjoy, and we want to hear their stories because we're like everybody else. We can't physically get together. We're still meeting by Zoom. But it's a great opportunity on so many levels to hear members of the congregation share their stories, because that's how we heal. We heal by sharing our stories. So I'm just having a great time with that. That's another smart decision I made, was to accept that invitation to lead this campaign this year and lead the church. And stewardship means to really help find the finances. And I believe that if we reimagine generosity the way I'm reimagining and where they're reimagining it, what I'm hearing so far, we're not going to have any problems raising money. Money is not a problem when you realize we come from abundance. And so it's just really, really exciting to stop and sit in all this chaos and all this confusion that can be painful. I mean, it is pain. I watched a little bit last night. I watched. I wanted to hear Rachel Maddow. She I think spent most of her segment having an interview with Kamala Harris, and I was just like, wow, this is powerful. That woman is just fierce. You just feel the love and the compassion and the leadership and the competency she's got in her. And we're going to be so lucky to have this brilliant woman as our new vice president going into the new. We need, and I'm not trying to be political. I'm talking about, it's not about Republican or Democrat. I'm talking about leadership that's competent, that's trustworthy, that tells the truth, that's empathetic and compassionate. And that's what we get in spades with she and Joe Biden. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about bringing love and compassion and leadership into this country again. And we need it, and we're going to get it. It might be a little wild. It's certainly a wild ride getting there. And it'll probably get a lot wilder before we're done. So stay tuned and stay here, because we need each other to get through the next few months. But the thing is, don't let the fear of what might happen, because that's what they're doing. That's what Trump is doing. He is trying to make you fearful that he might not leave, or he might do this, or people be afraid to vote. I mean, make no doubt about it, the Republicans are doing things to prevent people from voting. That's a fact. And that's alarming that we've got a major political party who has gone through extreme actions to try to prevent the population from voting, because they know that if everybody can vote, they're going to be out of office. So it's important that we vote. It's important that we vote. And I'm using this platform to share my story about it, because this is a smart decision for me too. And again, it's not about, I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent. It doesn't matter to me. That doesn't make any difference. But what matters to me is I care about this democracy, and I care about our freedoms and our rights. And that's what's on the line. And I want leadership we've got 216,000 people dead because we've got an incompetent leader he's even more incompetent. And quite frankly, it looks like to me, he's got a following that looks like a cult, because they're willing to follow him into these rallies where they're all creating like a super spreader fest for this virus. I mean, this thing is beyond my imagination. And I'm not going to get pulled into that stuff. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to vote him out of office. And I'm going to put my voice out here like I'm doing right now and tell you, I want a leader who's competent, who's trustworthy, who's compassionate, and empathetic. Those are the qualities I want to see in my leaders. And that's what I see in Joe Biden, and that's what I see in Kamala Harris and most of the Democratic leadership. And what really breaks my heart about this is this. Some of those Republicans are good, hearted people. Where are they? That's my question to you. You Republicans out there, you know what's going on. You're smart men and women. Why are you not waking up and doing your job and leading this country? I want you to step up, get off your party politics, get out of your fear of Donald Trump, and do what's right. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. You're smart. Most of you actually are competent, trustworthy, compassionate, and empathetic. But where is that part of you right now? Where is your compassion? Where is your empathy? Where is your leadership? Where is it now when the country needs you the most? We put you in office to lead this country, and I want to see you doing it. I want to see you doing your job. I don't know where all this came from today, but it just came out, I guess, because Joy the Wise Woman had some words she wanted to say about what's going on in the world right now. And I'm not pulled into the drama of it. I can see it clearly. I see what's going on very clearly. And it's not about blaming anybody. It's about people waking up to the truth. And one of the smartest decisions you Republicans can make right now is to do your job. That's the smartest decision you can make, is to let go of the political need to win, the political power structure, if you will, and your fear of the president, and do your job. The smartest decision you Republicans can do right now, the country needs you to do your job. And that means to lead. And that leads to lead with trust, transparency, compassion, empathy, and for God's sakes, you know what you're doing, so you're certainly competent. You can do this if you're willing. It's your choice. It's your choice. Because we're going to be in a new world in 2021. Where do you want to be? You want to be part of that new world, or you want to be left behind? Because we're going there. People in this country are speaking up. We're waking up. We're not going to go for this any longer. So you might as well open your hearts up and be real. Be authentic. And come from your authentic self. Step into your Joy the Wise Woman. Find that authentic part of yourself and wake it up and bring that into your job. Lead from there. Lead from that place. Lead from your truth. Let me see it. I want to feel it. So there. How about that? Anything you want to add to that, Mindy? Anybody else want to add to that? I don't have as many people here today. I guess people don't want to hear me pontificating about the current leadership, but I'm not here to. I'm here because I love the country and I love people and I care, and I just can't be quiet about stuff that just seems so. Yes, river of grace. I love that, river of grace. Yes, let's jump into a river of grace, and that means compassionate truth. That means I hope what I just said was truth from compassion. It didn't put me. I don't. And what I mean by that is, I don't think I said anything that put me into any kind of superior position to anybody else. What I had to say might be a little tough for some people to hear, but it's for the benefit of everybody else. And me included. I want to be in there. I want to live in that world as well. So it's really about being able to share my opinion from a place of compassion. And I hope I did that just then. And that is my intention through this pandemic, is to continue to share my truth from a place of compassion. And I hope I can do that, because I'm human too, and I can easily get pulled into the drama. Wow. We do live in some wild times, don't we, Mindy? Mindy's going to be our guest tomorrow. I'm so excited about that too. You do, and you have, and you. Yes, that's true. Yes, that's true. Thank you. That's my intention. Sometimes I get pulled into it too, and I become a rescuer and all kinds of stuff. But I think today I'm pretty much, you're hearing from Joy the Wise Woman because she speaks the truth. She doesn't have to be, she doesn't have to speak from a place of trying to look superior because she knows there's no such thing as a superior position. It's just what it is. It's just the truth. Yeah, it's just the truth. So I love you too, Mindy. Let's do a little meditation and tap into that deep part of ourselves that understands those values. And I'm going to ask that we pray for leadership in this country right today. I love that. Well, for me, it's about maintaining my truth and not choosing to return to my past. I love that. Yes, when you discover the truth of who you are, you don't need to go back to being anybody other than yourself. Isn't that a wonderful discovery, Dennis? Isn't that an absolutely wonderful discovery when you realize the truth of who you are, that you're this magnificent, powerful, loving being, human being? You don't have to go back to being something other than that. That is a beautiful, beautiful statement. And I'm so glad that if that was the smartest decision you made in 2020, then you got a great 2021 ahead of you, because what you're going to be doing, I call it maintaining the truth. It is when you discover the truth, it's about honing those skills, honing that relationship. And I do that through contemplative prayer. That's the only way I know to really get close to that truth of myself, that the divine self. And you're on the right path, and I'm excited. Thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful, man. It's absolutely beautiful. And so, would you stick around for the meditation? Because this is where you're going to find that truth part of you. This is where you find that deep truth of who you are. And if you meditate long enough, if you sit still enough, you'll hear that voice come awake inside you. You'll know its presence. And you've already discovered it. So let's take some time with some intention and let go of all that story of yourself in the past and be present to the current you, the real you, Dennis, the beautiful man who's here to make a difference in this world, to serve with a place of purpose and meaning, because your life matters. Simple. You just got to show up with love and gratitude. So happy for you. So let's meditate. Put your hands up in the air. I do this because I want you to realize, I want us all to realize that life force energy is what raised our hands. That's how far the divine is from us. We are the divine. That life force is the divine. That is God. If you have a hard time with that word, call it what I do. I call her Joy the Wise Woman. Infinite intelligence, whatever that is, life force energy, the universe, that is the life. We are immersed into it. It's like a fish in the water. It doesn't know you're in it sometimes because it's just what you are. You are immersed in spaciousness and love, life energy. So just be in it and let go. And allow your mind to take in some air and let it out and just blow it out. Take in another big, deep breath into your nose, up into your head, down into your lungs. Just let it out. Take in another big, deep breath and just let it go. And we let go of all your thoughts, all your opinions, all your beliefs about yourself, about me, about COVID, about the president. Hold on to nothing and just be still. And when a thought comes up, which they will, because that's what the mind does. It creates thoughts, one thought after another. Don't resist them, accept them with gratitude, and let them go. Welcome. Let it go. I'm so glad you're here. Let it go. No judgment, no attachment. Let it go. And fall back into the infinite, infinite, unconditional love that you are. Allow the interval bell to wake you up, and the sound of my voice to wake you up out of any trances you might have found yourself in. Maybe you were just luxuriating in some wonderful thought. Great. Come back to it after the meditation. For now, let it go. Wake up. Let it go. Fall back into love. Oh, that bell was the end. Oh, wow. I don't know if I was caught in a trance or I was in deep meditation. But welcome back, and I'd love to hear from you if you've got some comments to make. Dennis, it was so sweet of you to join us today and hearing your story and Please come back again. Where are you located? Are you where do you live? You may have we may have lost you in our meditation. We do that sometimes. We lose people in the meditation. But we're glad you came. Please hope you'll come back. Yeah, it did fly. See you tomorrow. I was hungry for it. I'll see you tomorrow. And may love and prosperity prevail. I'll see you tomorrow, Mindy.